Glen Bronwyn Peninsula, July 28th, 55 BC. Cabadath, a Celtic druid, awaits the return of his friend and colleague Gul'dan, who brings news of the invasion of Anglesey by the Roman Suetonius Paulinus. Having fallen out of favor with his fellows for certain radical beliefs and activities, Cabadath lives in solitude in this remote forest clearing and prefers not to travel himself. Cabadath, Gul'dan, you bring news. The foreigners have landed. They could not be deterred by our sorcery. All is lost? Oh, certain are you? True, they are making their way across the land, eliminating resistance. Even you, out here, will be brought down within days. I'm sorry, Cabadath. And the great druids of Anglesey bow so easily to this brash foreign power? Do not hang your head yet, my friend. Perhaps the activities for which I was ostracized could yet spell an answer. What are you talking about? You know of my dealings with the ethereal realm? I know what you claim. That there exists some otherworldly territory populated by demons and creatures of magic. And that you, Cabadath, can somehow commune with these creatures. Come inside and I shall explain. Ah, look, it's that house. Cabadath, what is this madness? In my dealings with the ethereal realm, I have learned of many powerful demons and elementals. Elementals? There was one spoken of only reluctantly, a beast possessing of awesome power. You plan to summon a demon? The most terrible of them all, who strikes fear into even the most unflappable creatures I have spoken with. A pain elemental. Indeed, the only pain elemental, ruler of a desolate wasteland where none venture. An invulnerable, hugely potent beast that feeds on the agony of others. And today is his day. The day when the boundaries between the realms weaken and he glimpses our world. To bring him through at that point should be simple. Even if you could conjure such a thing, how would you have it defend our land? I have much knowledge in the ways of magic. With the correct bindings, any demon can be forced to my will. I completed the preparations while I waited for your return. All that remains is the summoning. Cabadath, it pains me to see you build your hopes on such nonsense. Be silent and watch. You shall see your nonsense soon enough. And I'm not gonna speak now, just watch it. Chzo, of course, has no use for meat. It feeds on pain. It does not kill its prisoners. Cabadath's agony was a particularly rare morsel, and Chzo ensured it would last. His soul was placed inside an oak sapling on the site of his old home to grant his body immortality. For 5 centuries, as the tree grew, he knew torment beyond even his most depraved imaginings. By then, his body was warped, and his mind long fallen into soulless dementia. He was Chzo's, utterly and completely his slave. Trilby! You were supposed to leave. I couldn't, I bet. The professor, he's dead. I know. He was killed by the shadows. Just like they will kill you if you don't get away from here. What is this place? This cave is the center of the reality shift. This stump is what's causing it all. How? It is the vessel for the soul of the tall man. The acolyte of Chzo. Lenkman, nice to see your friendly face. Amazing, isn't it? Of all the things Sir Roderick could have used to murder his son, he chose that idol, placing the soul of John Defoe into the wood alongside Cabada's, infusing the poor retard with Chzo's magic, allowing him to come back infinitely more powerful than before. Certainly pretty lucky. Lucky? Chzo had to wait 2,000 years for that opportunity. The opportunity to blend magic and science in a single entity. The opportunity to create the bridge. What are you talking about? The bridge between the realms, over which Chzo will cross into our universe and purify mankind. Our order has waited 200 years for the prophecy to be fulfilled. Oh no, Lenkman. You're not with the Ministry of Occultism. Who are you? 200 years ago, the prophet Jack Horn founded the Order of Blessed Agonies. Since then, we have grown and watched and waited. It was only in recent years that the events foretold in the Book of Chzo began to occur. It mentioned John Defoe, and it mentioned you. Me. You were the one prophesied to guide the Bridgekeeper to his destiny. But you didn't finish the job. All three aspects of John Defoe had to be destroyed to create the bridge. Body, mind and soul. You only destroyed his body. His soul and mind remained. Had I known about this, I wouldn't even have done that. That will truly disappoint my superiors. They were quite adamant that I should try to persuade you to join our cause and fulfill your foretold duty. Is that why you were helping me? They thought if I guided you through our visions and showed you the appropriate passages from our holy books, you'd understand that the prophecy is real. You honestly believed I joined some insane cult just because you handed me some leaflets? Personally, no. And there we go. A knife in my gut brought an explosion of ice-cold agony. I heard the pitter-patter of my blood on the rocky floor. The pain, the surprise and my exhaustion went together to cause immediate unconsciousness. I awoke to find myself splayed upon the stump, blood still slowly leaking from my wound. In my injured state, I could barely move. My limbs refused to respond. I was as weak as a newborn. Lenkman. Oh good, you're awake. I was afraid you'd miss this. What are you doing? After your staggering ineptitude in Defoe Manor, the Order need to nudge things along. We need a connection to Chzo to help administrate his coming. And today might be the only opportunity we have all year to summon the Tall Man. You're going to bring that thing into our world. With a standard ritual of blessed agonies and an offering. After he takes your life, he will be grateful to us, and then he will guide us to our destiny. So why did you stab me? What if I'm already dead by the time he gets here? You won't be. Men like you, Trilby, die on their own terms. They won't weakly let their lives slip away from one measly knife wound. Hush now. Cabadath is coming. Well, what are we supposed to do now? I call thee, Cabadath, to the wood that is your soul. I call thee from the north. Look, that's always a good idea. From my position, I could only see a small portion of the wavering cavern. I could see the idol of John Defoe on the stump beside me and my bloody waistcoat lying discarded in the corner. With my other senses, I could detect the presence of Showan and the redoubtable Lenkman. Maybe we should grab the idol. My attempts to move only made things worse. I I felt a stab of pain and something snapped between my eyes, filling my vision with spots. Oh. So maybe we should move. I was losing blood steadily. My arms and legs were limp and unresponsive. I couldn't move. Okay. Take idle. I couldn't move. Move. I couldn't move. I called thee from the south. Maybe we can... I don't think we can talk to Chauvin, but who knows. Talk, Chauvin. Favorite food. Oh. Okay. Ask Chauvin out. What? How does that work? She's here, but she can't answer you. She has nothing to do with this, Langman. Let her go. On the contrary, it is important that all three of us be here. It is part of the ritual. I see. Body, mind and soul, huh? Oh, no, I did... Oh, I something... I stared blankly. Look, Lenkman. The treacherous cultist was wandering around the stump in a manner that I suppose was relevant to his ritual. Move. Well then, how about... we die? Not yet, but I was pretty close. Move. Get up. Couldn't move. Die. I was pretty close. Ugh. We just have to wait for a little bit. It was becoming harder and harder to breathe. Air rattled in and out of my lungs like a buzzsaw. Not yet. Okay. Ended Cabadath? Oh, we are supposed to... Did I mess up already? I present thee with blessed agonies, body, mind and soul. Yeah, we will still have a little bit to go. My vision was clouding up around the edges. It seemed like my stubborn will was the only thing keeping me alive. Alright, now we got it. The thing is, I'm sorry, but every time I don't know when he's going to say something, so when I'm trying to type, I just might skip text without, even if I don't want to, so I died. and now it sits across from me. The reality shift had cleared up and we were free to leave. An STP cleanup crew arrived with the ambulance. No trace of a bed or the hotel staff was found. Officially, they've been classified as unexplained disappearances. Lankman and the tall man seem to have also vanished, which does not surprise me in the least. Chauvin signed the Official Secrets Act, and last I heard is staying with her parents to recuperate. Which just leaves me to write up my notes with the idol that haunts my dreams gazing at me from across my desk. I was dead. I can't pretend I wasn't. No amount of CPR could have brought me back from where I was. So who did? The man in red? Who was he if not an insane hallucination and brain death? Unimportant. I am alive and that's all that matters. Just that and the destiny of this wretched statuette that I am apparently fated to carry out. Every instinct in my being wants to burn it to ashes and grind them into dirt, but I do not. Into dirt. Lankman spoke of a prophecy, that the destruction of John Defoe's soul would somehow help him and his order summon the Dark God. So if I destroy the idol, they win, but what else can I do? I certainly can't keep it. I know from experience that it takes malevolent influence like a broken pipe, that it leaks malevolent influence like a broken pipe leaks water. The only other option is to hide it. But where can I hide such a thing and ensure that it is never found again by human hands? I shall have to think about this. And there you go. Trilby's notes. So just for those of you who are maybe still unclear, Cabadath, the druid, the arrogant man, became the prince, and his body was turned into a huge oak tree, which then, throughout the centuries, was tormented by, cutting down the oak, making wooden plank out of it, a harpsichord, a wall, a sign, and finally a wooden idol. The only thing that I find interesting is that, given how big this oak tree was, its wood must have been scattered in so many places, and yet apparently it only, this one instance of wood that finally became the idol, apparently was the only, is the only small portion that contains, that still contains the prince's soul. And then it was used to kill the second son of Roderick Defoe, who apparently was born, I don't know, he wanted to hide him for some reason. He was the one, his wife didn't survive the birth, so he locked him up. He beat him to death with the idol, and then the prince's soul and John Defoe's soul suddenly, they merged into that idol, and that is why it can now summon the Wraith, the welder, John Defoe. And the next game, 6 Days of Sacrifice, is going to, you know, it's going to wrap it all up. And it's also going to bring back the man in red that you saw at the end. The guy who brought Trilby back to life. Who knows how he did it? Who knows who he was? But you should have paid attention to what he said, because he said that the fact that he's here means that Trilby survived. And without Trilby surviving, he wouldn't be here. So, you know, that's something to keep in mind. And I don't want to spoil too much, because 6 days is still ahead. And thank God we're back to the point-and-click interface, because it simply works better. But it was a nice experiment with the text parser. It simply, the game just stands out because it's the naming is different. It's called Trilby's Notes and not, you know, 5 days, whatever. And of course, you know, the note format. I guess the text parser wasn't so bad, but from a gameplay perspective, I prefer point-and-click. And so I'll see you guys next time, in 6 days. And we're going to see a lot of familiar faces again, because it's the final game, and it's, you know, it's like the big showdown of all the characters that you came to know and love and hate, maybe. Who knows? So I'll see you guys then. Have a nice day, and be ready for 6 days of sacrifice. See you then.